What's up, boys? Today we're going to do a little week 4 recap. Check out what we got going on here. Starting out with your boy, the commish versus Alex. Dropped 132 and lost. Let's see what we got here. I think ultimately I made some wrong decisions, leaving Gainwell on the bench. Didn't realize that the starter was hurt. And he drops a 31, and then Quinshon has been trending up. I was planning on eventually starting him anyways, but didn't do so yet. But he's probably going to be the starter for me from now on with 21. So if I did the math right, it's like a 31-point difference. Obviously doesn't matter because I didn't make the right decisions. But that's fantasy for you. I think I actually hate fantasy. Anyways, we got Christian McCaffrey dropping 26, Debo dropping 20, Javonte dropping 19, tied in with 18, stinking kicker with 17, so I didn't stand a chance here. But congratulations to Alex being the only remaining undefeated team. Next, we have a complete shellacking by Mr. The Water Boy. Gets Mark No Andrews here. His backup QB, because Joe Burrow got hurt, dropping 23. Ashton dropping 33. Amarian dropping 27. And some pretty consistent players over here. But the real story, I think, here, especially for Aaron, is the number 1 pick curse. Which, if you look at the last 6 years, the number 1 curse is the player picked first finishes outside the top 40. But 3 of those were McCaffrey. So I didn't know if it was like a McCaffrey thing or whatever. But it turns out it's true. Jamar Chase just dropping nothing. Of course, we know Burrow's hurt. That has a lot to do with it. But just not a lot of production here. And the story of this week for sure is injuries. Lamar Jackson with that hammy out for several weeks. Next we got Blake and Ryan. Blake is, while he is 3-1, is easily the top scorer. Definitely the team to beat these days. Pickens dropping 33, Quentin dropping 23. Bench even going off, 23 from Metcalf. And then just everybody but Bijan just dropping nothing. AJ Brown, here there's some drama, him wanting to get out, which I would too. David Montgomery, man, come on. And then -5 from the Packers. Trey was a gamble. He dropped like 40 last week, but I think that was worth it. But he basically doubled Ryan's score, so that's, hopefully you can turn it around, right, man. Next, we had a really close one. These are some top contenders here for our champion. They are now 3rd and 4th in the rankings, and Grayson taking his first loss, which again, the story of the week is injuries. Malik Neighbors only getting 4 and is now out for the season. I believe that was his first pick. So he's had a running back, James Conner, RB2, and his overall number 1 pick out with injuries. Hate it for you, buddy. Looks like you got some producers here. Bo Nix, Goddard, Love. I think you'll be all right and probably still make the playoffs. And then, of course, Will has the deadly Jared Goff and Amon-Ra St. Brown combo, which has turned out to be quite lucrative. Oh, and we've got our last place bowl. The winner of this is 11th in Jake, and then now Dylan is officially last in the group. Sorry about that, pal. Let's see what we got here. Tyreek Hill dropping almost 13, but is also out for the season. If anybody saw that injury, it was gross. He was celebrating for some reason. And then just 19 from a kicker is awesome. Bucky balling out. Dak on your bench for 30. Woody Mark, I don't even know who that is. Houston running back dropping 28. Stafford 27. You know, Dylan's team, when I look at it, I'm like, that's pretty scary. But for some reason, these guys just aren't pumping out like you would think they would. But last place bowl here, we'll see how that pans out. We have another humongous point differential here with Drew and Eric. Drew, of course, with Puka Nacua just dropping it on everybody, along with Sutton and Patrick Mahomes, which I had last year, who never even come close to 27 points in any game. Of course, does it this year. And then with Romeo Dobbs on the bench at 30. So not a lot of fun happening here. We will check out the standings. As that loads, I do want to say, do not stop playing. We do have a punishment this year. You will be on Fieldstown Road in that singlet that says I suck at fantasy football, one way or the other. We do have pretty much a clear separation now. This year, half the field is going to go to the playoffs. I'm at the top of that almost in list with 38% chance. Our last two guys are now to 18. Mr. Undefeated up here at 93. 81, 64, and then 56 from Dale. But like I said, don't lose heart. A lot of folks were up at the top here at this point of the season last year and did not even make the playoffs. Wanted to check out some points for here. I think the clear number one is Blake, right, followed by Will. These boys staying here around this 500 mark. And then points against Aaron almost hitting 600. So unfortunate. Sorry, buddy. And then very interesting here. Speaking of teams to beat, Blake is last in points against and first in points for. That's how you win. That's how you do it there. Points against. Let's see this again. So he's at last, and then a pretty significant jump. I think even, yeah, so only a couple over 500 points for, a couple over 500 for points against, and then of course this middle of the road champ here. Don't give up. You guys can start winning. I mean, it's only been 4 games, and there are 14 total games, so we're not even close to halfway through. There's a lot of things left to happen. There's a lot of injuries probably coming down the pike, and changes, and people will get hot and not. So keep playing. We'll figure it out. And don't forget that belt is awaiting our champion. We'll see you Thursday for the Week 5 matchup preview. Thanks, boys.